Hi, this is Tom Jacobs. I'm an evolutionary astrologer, psychic medium, and channel. Find me on the web at TomJacobs.com. And a comment came to me secondhand or third hand about some of these other videos where I'm talking about past lives, and somebody said to somebody to whom I know, "What isn't this life enough? Why do we have to talk about past lives?" And so I just wanted to do a little, I said, okay, well, that's the next video. Just wanted to do a little video talking about that. This is explored in detail in Conscious Revolution, Tools for 2012 and Beyond, the fourth channeled ebook from Ascended Master Jehudi that I published earlier in October. And you can see more about that and order it through my website. And why worry about past lives? Well, isn't this life enough? Well, actually, this life is enough. Because this life is essentially a repeat of what's going on in other lives. Every single life that your soul lives, which we would call past lives except for this one, all of these lives are about the same themes. So life experience comes to you because you, as a divine being, as a divine creator, are broadcasting, soul is broadcasting energetically. I will learn about these themes. So in every one of your lives, you're experiencing major events that all fit within certain thematic templates. So if the theme is safety, and some lives you're very safe, and some lives you're not safe, and some lives there's a whole mix of that, but it's to teach you at the soul level about safety. But to bring in the perspective that what's happening now is happening across time is important now. So, if you call me for a reading and I say, are you okay with the concepts of reincarnation, because I might talk about past lives, and if you say no, that's fine with me. I don't care. It doesn't matter if you want to talk about past lives, because there's a fact that this life is a microcosm of the entire soul's journey, and so all of your past lives are being relived right now. The reason that I personally find it useful to talk about past lives, or my soul's other lives is how I tend to phrase it, is that I need to understand why something's happening. So I can't release something, I can't get over something, I can't change my mind about something if I don't understand why. And there are experiences in a given life where your reaction is completely out of proportion to what happened. And that's important to understand, because there's something that nobody can understand in about your personality, about your life, about your choices, about your fears, that nobody can understand why it's such a big deal. And they might not be able to have compassion for you. And you might not be able to have compassion for yourself if you don't understand the context that something very intense about this theme or this experience is happening in another place on the timeline. So you don't have to talk about past lives, but it can help. I'm also a very curious person, or I tend to be, so I tend to ask a lot of questions, and I always want to understand why something's happening, and I want to understand why I am the way I am. And so I want to understand certain things about past lives. I don't worry about details. I don't care what my name was. I don't care about my occupation, except to understand that I'm inclined to do certain things, write, teach, whatever, for me personally. But I don't really care about all the details. I don't care about what happened, except I care about the emotional imprint from those times, from those experiences. So when I do talk about past lives, I don't talk about it to justify anything, to give excuses about the way we're wired, but it's always in service of understanding, to helping us understand why we are the way we are. We can't be present. We can't be open, conscious, focused, present people if we're being run by a bunch of fears that were actually instilled in us in other lives. I use this example in my teaching sometimes, and I'll share it with you. That I have Mars and Uranus square the nodes in the first house, square the nodes of the moon. And so there's an indication that, like, one way of looking at it is that I have experienced trauma in different lives. But really, looking at it with your spiritual eyes, or from the perspective of the Ascended Master that I channel, Jehudi, Thoth, Saint Germain, this perspective is that I am learning about my soul as humans is learning different ways of using will for the right reasons and individuating and creating freedom and being in action. And basically needs to learn different things about being in a body too. Part of that experience is experiencing trauma, but that's not why it's in there. So in this life, I have experienced trauma in the form of car accidents, bicycle accidents, getting hit by cars. I even had a couple of people who were, say, I wish to be compassionate, maybe a little less than stable or balanced, threaten my life a couple of times, and I've had that happen, and it's all a part of me learning about Mars and Uranus, about the right expression of will and assertion, self-assertion, self-defense, and also, assertion, right? So I've had that experience. Now, in the past, I did wonder, before I started channeling a lot and really got into karmic astrology or evolutionary astrology, I wondered why that would happen. This is a past life thing. And when I got the information came from the feeling, right? So it wasn't something that I was trying to ascribe intellectually some source or some reason for. It was finally putting words and concepts to the feeling that I had. So, and I had karma, a belief that I wasn't safe. So therefore I was drawing these accidents and issues and people to threaten me to basically prove me right because I carried the belief. Basically, well, it looks like proving me right, but it's really about reflecting to me that I carry the belief. So now I'm kind of beyond the past life stuff as far as it being a concept, and I'm just dealing with the feelings that I actually have and understanding the bigger picture that they represent. So nobody has to talk about past lives. It doesn't matter, because this life is a repeat of your soul's other lives. Talking about past lives does challenge some people's perception of what life is really about. Talking about past lives can challenge people's conceptions of what God is, who people are, what is really happening on the earth, which is why I mentioned earlier in one of the videos that even just having the conversation about past lives requires us to change our idea about who we are, about who we think we are. So if you start thinking and talking about past lives, most of you probably have been doing so already. Just if you're finding this video, chances are, that's a part of your experience. And other people don't get it, just let that be what it is. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Don't try to convince anybody. Just deal with your own stuff. Just deal with your own feelings. Deal with what you know you need to do. Thanks for watching. My name is Tom Jacobs. I'm an evolutionary astrologer, medium, and channel. Find me on the web at tdjacobs.com. Bye-bye.